Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. So, apparently, we've actually got some solid info that's been leaked from the Overwatch Alpha for Sojourn, Orisa, and Doomfist, what their abilities are and the way that they play. Now, remember, it's a leak, but apparently it's coming from, according to this article on GG Recon, it's coming from Overwatch League. So, is it solid info? Is it even fair for me to call it that? I don't know, but it's more info than we got in the developer live stream. So, let's discuss it in this video. All right, then let's take a look at this. So, we've got the article on GG Recon, beautiful. We've got a picture of the Overwatch 2 logo, absolutely fantastic. And this is what we get from Yiska, who, of course, has wrote the article for GG Recon. And this is what he said. GG Recon has talked with several sources who have had access to the closed alpha test of Overwatch 2's PvP mode. Due to these parties having signed non-disclosure agreements, sources have requested anonymity. Okay, now I have looked at this article. It's just text. There's no images. Now, you would think if someone was going to leak, they might leak actual images or video footage. Now, probably Blizzard has got a way of tracking that. So if they did do that, then they'd know who did it. So it's probably safer just to send, a bit of info to Yiska, who's a reporter. Anyway, let's go on and take a look at this, because this might not be real. This might be completely made up. Who knows? Yiska's got some things right with leaks that he's reported on, and he's got some things wrong. But I think this is going to be interesting just to look at these abilities, especially the Orisa stuff, because the devs, I literally have just watched the dev live stream and then I came out and read this. The dev live stream, they did confirm Orisa's got a javelin, and this came out before the dev live stream. And it also said Orisa's got a javelin. So I think that gives it a bit of validity. But anyway, let's get stuck into it. Several sources have shared that the gameplay experience has held steady to Overwatch's profile while encountering noticeably fewer shields. The majority of sources that described a noticeable change in how the game plays have pointed out the tank role to have been the most affected, in line with the sea change that Overwatch 2 has brought to that role. Okay, right, tanks have changed the most, and the game still feels like Overwatch. Well, I think that's, that goes without saying, because it's one less tank, so tanks have to change. We know they're being reworked, and of course we know that Doomfist is a tank. Again, this has been confirmed by the developer live stream, but again, it wasn't confirmed before this article went up, and this article contains, Doomfist tank rework info, so it does add validity to this. I'm erring on the side that this might be legit. It might not be, we don't know, but whatever, let's go through it. Moving on then, it says, also universally, sources agree that Sojourn has left a strong first impression and is likely overtuned. Again, something that was said in a dev stream. Sources have advised that she will need to be adjusted down a notch, as she currently dishes out an oppressive amount of damage through her railgun ability, allowing her to one-shot headshot 200 HP targets, and her disruptor shot, a grenade-like field that slows enemies in an area around it. Her power slide ability has both horizontal and vertical movement and is on a 5-second cooldown. In practice, it apparently plays like an improved and more fluid version of Batiste Exo Boost. Okay, so what we've got there is a list of her abilities. So the railgun is doing one-shot headshot damage to 200 HP targets and instantly killing them. She's got a disruptor shot, which is a grenade-like field that slows enemies in an area around it. See, that seems weird, because in the dev stream, they said they're moving crowd control effects off everyone else and basically sticking them on tanks. So why would they give the new hero a crowd control effect? That seems really weird. Anyway, her power slide ability has both horizontal and vertical movement on a 5-second cooldown. In practice, it apparently plays like an improved, more fluid versions of Batiste Exo Boost. Now, maybe you charge it up before you use it. Maybe it's just like an Apex Legends thing, like the slide in Apex Legends, but you can do it all over the place instead of just forward. I don't know, but that is the most info I think we've ever got on Sojourn. Again, this is a leak, take it with a pinch of salt, but considering what I said earlier on in the video, where some things in this were actually said that were then confirmed in the dev update, does give this quite a bit of validity, I think, at least in my eyes. Anyway, so let's move on. Orisa's kit has changed significantly. Of her previous kit, she only keeps her Fortify ability, which now also gives her additional HP. Okay, so Fortify stays the same, but gives her more HP. Or it just gives her more HP, I don't know. She has received 3 new abilities while her Halt, Supercharger, and Protective Barrier have been removed. Instead, she receives a new ability called Energy Spear A javelin which knocks opponents back upon hit and deals additional damage when shoving them into a wall. So, like, Orisa's like yeeting javelins at people and sticking them to the wall. It's like some Sparta madness. Like, what is going on? Do you know what I mean? This is just way more exciting than the dev stream. Like, what the frick? Anyway, let's move on. Where am I? I've got so excited, I'm lost. Yeah, her new E ability, Spear Spin, destroys projectiles in front of Orisa, giving her additional movement speed and pushes enemies out of the way. So, I guess like Defense Matrix, but she moves forward. Spinning Spear. I kind of like this. You know what? If this is an identity change to Orisa, I do kind of like this because it's the whole kind of like, you know, it really, I think that really builds into like an African kind of origin story. I think that's really cool, especially with Numbani. I think that's really cool, that is. Spears. It's not what I expected, though. Like, spear. This ain't the same here. This ain't it. I mean, she's still a tank, right? I think she's still a tank. It almost sounds like a DPS, doesn't it? So, you're throwing spears. You can... Maybe if you throw the spear, you don't have it. So maybe if you chuck it, you can't then spin it. I don't know. Is she running around with a spear? This is mental. Or what's... Anyway, let's move on. Finally, her new ultimate, Terror Lance, pulls opponents towards Orisa in a large radius, reducing damage taken by her as she becomes immune to crowd control effects and channels the ability. The longer the ability is channeled, the more damage is dealt. So she just creates a big area, large radius around herself, reduces damage taken by her. I guess that's as she's like using the ultimate. Yeah, because channels the ability. The longer the ability is channeled, more damage is dealt. I don't know. That just sounds mental. That's not the same hero, is it? That's like totally different. Again, if this is true. But it's still juice, and we're here to cover the juice. So, fancy stuff. Right then, let's talk about Doomfist. Good God, this is a nice little section. Doomfist has moved to the tank role and had his kit adjusted, a fact which has been confirmed by Blizzard on a developer livestream just, as well as his HP increased. Rocket Punch had its damage lowered significantly, but receives additional functionality through a new ability introduced in the kit. The new skill, Power Block, which allows him to absorb damage for a short amount of time, will charge Rocket Punch's damage temporarily to comparable levels as they are on live today. Rising Uppercut and Seismic Slam have been made into one ability, in that Doomfist will uppercut at the start of his ability while slamming down in a much wider area to provide crowd control. The damage of this ability is also being described as moderate. All right, let's focus on that last thing, because again, on the dev stream, I've got my notes on the other screen here. I've been literally writing notes down from that dev stream. Aaron Keller said it's like he's got a Winston leap now. So if this new ability, well, it's not a new ability, what is it? It's Seismic Slam and Rising Uppercut have been put together. Well, so I guess it is a new ability. Because you would jump up, wouldn't you, with Uppercut, then go down. So where Winston, I guess, jumps like this, maybe Doomfist just goes up and then goes straight down instead of like the Winston leap. I don't know. That's very interesting. But of course, he's got a new ability here, Power Block. So he blocks and he absorbs damage for a short amount of time. Is that all damage? Is that just a bit of damage? Who knows? It will charge his Rocket Punch's damage temporarily. So, and it also says Rocket. So Rocket Punch has had its damage lowered. But if you use Power Block, it will charge up the damage. Then if you punch someone, you can basically smash their head in like you can on live. That's really cool. And again, remember what Jeff Goodman said in the developer live stream. He said they're trying to keep Doomfist the same as he kind of is on live because they don't want to change him too much because they still want him to feel like Doomfist. So I don't know. This all seems kind of credible to me, guys. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you as ever for watching the video, and I hope there's you found it a bit more juicy this than the other video where we covered the actual official live stream. Now again, these are all leaks. Take them with a pinch of salt. Who knows if they're true or not? But when we start looking through the cracks, I don't know. Kind of looks like it might be, right? Especially with, like I said, things that were in this article, which were then subsequently confirmed in the live stream. All right, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you lovely, lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.